All right. How is it going, my magnificent sons of bitches? And to be honest with you, I really haven't been following this story that much. With the stuff coming out about BlackRock and the great work that James O'Keefe has done, and the stuff going on right now with China and Taiwan, those have been mainly on my radar. And then you got the stuff with Hunter Biden and Joe Biden being exposed in the Hunter criminal investigation or, trial that it is, whatever it is. The lack of Justice Department that is going down. But this story about the submarine, I find it very, very compelling because of course I'm hearing all this weird ass shit about the guy who, oh yeah, it's all 50-year-old white males playing Dungeons. They don't like playing my Dungeons and Dragons, so I'm going to hire these more diverse, all that shit. It's actually kind of funny because the first ones shitting on these people were the leftists, and the leftists can't sit there but help but making themselves look foolish on Twitter. Ultimately, I didn't really care. I haven't been keeping up with the story that much, to be honest with you, and I really didn't give a rat's ass who was down there visiting the Titanic and what the fuck they were in. But I have been hearing rumblings on Twitter and whatnot because I've been spending a lot more time on Twitter. The only reason I got on Twitter is because of Tucker Carlson. I got back on Twitter just to go ahead and piss off the left. However, with that being said, this is one of those stories that have come out that people are talking about, myself included, to go ahead and get some cheap views, I guess, on the misfortunes of these people or whatnot. Well, I started watching Salty Cracker, and ultimately it ended up into a Pat McAfee show. And, like I said, I like Pat, so of course I listened to a little bit of what he was saying. And of course, his deal was that this was an episode of The Simpsons. And then they predicted this. And then they go through all the other shit that The Simpsons have predicted. And you can find videos all over the internet of this. The Simpsons predicted this. The Simpsons predicted that. Yeah, they said that this was going to happen. And ultimately, during the video, what Pat McAfee came to the conclusion of is that the Simpsons are time travelers. That they've been to the future, and then instead of warning people about these incidents or trying to save lives or anything, because they know everything that's going to happen because they're from the future, that they come back here and put it in a cartoon episode that, comes out weekly. I don't know. It's still on, right? Has The Simpsons still been on? It's only been on for like 40 years or something. But, it is what it is. They're time travelers. And this shows you how out of touch and insane, well, not only YouTube and social media has become, but society as a whole. Because you're going to tell me that The Simpsons are time travelers from the future, and they're putting this future information into our episodes. Don't you think it would be easier if I was going to make a conclusion and draw a conclusion that maybe, just maybe, that these media events are staged, maybe to distract from what's going on with, I don't know, Hunter Biden, the president's son, that's being, right now indicted over tax evasions, which, they always like to go after everybody else on tax. Of course, a gun violation. It just shows complete and utter hypocrisy of the fucking Democrats. So while he's going on trial for all these crimes he has committed, and he's incriminating his own father and whatnot as a fall guy for the Democrats, and we haven't even talked about the fucking laptop. However, maybe, just maybe, this isn't real. Maybe it's just scripted. And maybe the Simpsons aren't from the future. Just maybe a lot of their episodes are being used, whether it be Donald Trump becoming president and whatnot. The Simpsons predicted it. Yeah. But ultimately, he wasn't the first choice. But yeah, he was president, just like The Simpsons said. So maybe, just maybe, a lot of this shit is just written out for you and staged in these performances on your mainstream media. And so while you're living in a real world crisis or a real world pandemic, and you think it's like The Stand or Contagion or any of these other movies, maybe you're just being lied to by the mainstream media. Maybe they're just tricking you so they can go ahead and take as much advantage of you as you can. Yes, yeah, I definitely believe it's scripted for a distraction. You know, and just like a lot of this shit, just like when they're fixing to pass a gun policy or take away another fucking right, you get a mass shooting, and then it's always we must ban gun common sense gun reform, and it's a little tiresome. They may want to do a Titanic part two, so they script this. Yeah, it'll probably be out next week. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely don't think that this is legitimate. I honestly don't. And of course, the Twitterverse. Twitter is a different world. Like I said, granted, its platform is exceedingly small. These people don't have the like a lot of them seem to think, you know, because they get a lot of trends on Twitter and whatnot, but it's so marginalized. So basically, it's basically shills and it's people that are, you know, covering the shills. So they think that a lot of people are talking about, um, you know, they think that everybody's sitting there talking about the what's that Adam Schiff thing, and they think that they're really making a movement by having 10,000 people trend Adam Schiff shit. But it's not. Nobody cares about Adam Schiff. To be honest with you, I don't even watch the Trump shit anymore. A lot of the channels on YouTube I don't watch anymore. YouTube really, they, you know, after they terminated my main account, I just really haven't had a lot of interest. Kind of like lost a lot of passion for doing these videos, to be honest with you. Although I did ask Dark Horse if he was would be interested in doing another Chris Benoit video on his channel. I don't know. Maybe that's a thing I could do with Dark Horse, but that would be something that I would, you know, remotely be interested in doing. But just to come out and, you know, I could talk politics and stuff till I'm blue in the face, but they always move the goalpost around and they always change the shit up. And the stories will change on this right here. So a bunch of social justice warriors, essentially what happened is the social justice warriors, they went down into the fucking Titan submarine thing. They went to the bottom of the ocean. They all died. That's, you know, basically the story. And it was right by the Titanic. And it's so cheesy and cheap. It's just, you know, I get why people are not invested into it. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. I didn't have much power on my phone. Plus, I got to get up and go to work in the morning. So I just wanted to go ahead and do a really quick video on my thoughts about this Titan submerging vehicle that went underwater near the crashes. I think that it was completely staged. I think it's a performance. And I think it's to distract you from all the legal repercussions of Hunter Biden, because it doesn't make Joe Biden look good, particularly with his connections with Ukraine. And it looks like technically we should be holding tribunals. That's what it looks like. Like, that's why they want to take your guns. That's why they want to take a lot of your freedoms and liberties. That's why, because they understand that this looks like something that would be worthy of tribunals. In reality, they've been trying to get us into World War III, try to start a civil war, doing all these riots, pushing all these radicalized stuff. So I think it's like getting to that point to where we may need to start considering third-party tribunals. But because the government can't be qualified to, you know, judge themselves anymore. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. You people tell me what you think. You like, sub, do the shit YouTube tells me to do to get over. And for now, I'm out.